refuse to lose. Southwest Freshmen. I always think it's important to allow anyone who has questions, things they may be going through, whatever, challenges, to have an opportunity to ask the question. Because I've made mistakes, I've struggled, it ain't been all pretty. I'm not here to tell you that story about how you should be perfect, and it's gonna be all good, and you're never gonna get in trouble. And then that's phony, that's not real. So, I wanna open this up right now to Q&A, question and answer. Anybody have a question? In the back? What made me what's your name, sir? Casey? Everybody quiet? Thank you for the question, Casey. Casey's question was what made me decide to play basketball. I had an older brother who was 4 years older than me. And when he got to middle school, he decided he wanted to try out for the boys' basketball team. Well, my brother, like maybe some of your older siblings, was my first hero. He was my first best friend. And he actually was the type of big brother that was like, no, my little sister coming with me. Everywhere I'm going, my little sister coming with me, because he knew my home wasn't right either. And so basketball ended up being the thing that kept me out of the house. So this is back when we went outside to play basketball or play anything. So I started playing because of my older brother. I kept playing because it kept me out of the house. And coincidentally, those two things ended up being what it ended up being. Good question, Casey. Yes, right here. Tyreek has a question, everybody listen.
I've had people put you down and say that you're nothing, you think that you're not doing anything at all, and that's what I mean. But I got that question.
Hey, let's respect Tyreek.
I can push you forward and move on in my life. Have you ever had this experience before?
Tyreek, thank you for your question. Tyreek's question was about bullies. Was about people telling him he wasn't good enough. And him feeling like maybe he wasn't good enough because he listened to them. And he said, has that ever happened to me? All the time. All the time. My mother actually reminded me often that I wasn't good enough. My mother reminded me often I wasn't pretty enough, smart enough, wasn't girly enough. Your hair needs to be done that way. Why you got on those clothes? So I know exactly what you mean. And what you gotta do is understand that you are the power, you are the magic, and you cannot be stopped. And people will communicate to you or say things to you out of their own personal fear. What people say to you is really not about you. It's really about them. When people say negative things to you, it's really because they're not happy. It's really because their own insecurities. Because what's going on the inside will always come out. And so I understand now, when I was your age, Tyreek, I was really mad at my mom. My whole 20s, I hated her. That's a part of my process too. We didn't get along. I didn't answer the phone when she called. Totally extra out of my life. Because I was really, really upset about the house I grew up in. But what I realized was that she was only giving me what she had in her to give. She didn't know no better. I sat at her deathbed for 2.5 years and watched her die. She didn't have a lot of visitors. She didn't have a lot of love around her. And so maybe that's why she couldn't give a lot. So, Tyreek, don't worry about people. Someone's opinion of you never has to become your reality. Write it down and stay on assignment. And in 10 years, you'll be back. You'll be laughing at people. You'll be laughing at them. I'll give you my cell phone number if you need inspired, motivated any day. Tariq, I got you. Anybody else got a question? Hey, Walker has a question.
How did you go through the process of writing a book?
Writing a book. The process is difficult. I've written 2 books, but actually, I'm finishing up the last version of my 2nd book. And one is very personal, and that's why it's taken a while, so it's been difficult. I've had help doing it. I hired someone to help me do it. So that's one process. The other book I wrote was for high school student athletes called Signed, and it's basically where I give everything I've learned in my 14-year college coaching career, in my ACC playing career, in my high school career. I give all of that information back to the next generation of high school athletes, aspiring college athletes, and I wrote that myself, and I just put my thoughts on paper. So there's several ways you can do it. Do you want to be an author? You should. You should write that dream down. I am an author. How about I'm the youngest New York Times best-selling author? Does that make you feel good? So you want your dreams to make you feel good. Like, so that's what I'm saying when it's like, tomorrow's my birthday. When your dreams are about being the youngest New York Times best-selling author, then it's like, I got something to look forward to. Go get that done, Walker.
Yeah.
Who else has a question?
Everybody's got a question.
Hey, let's respect whoever has the floor to ask their question. What's your name? Elena has a question, guys.
Have you ever almost given up?
I've a lot of times almost given up, Elena. A lot of times. More times than I can care to. I don't even. I probably just wanted to give up yesterday. I got goals and dreams I want to do now that are so challenging and so difficult that yes, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. Yes, that's a normal feeling. When you feel like you want to give up, know that that is normal. Doesn't make you some freak, doesn't make you different, like, oh God, I can't do it. It makes you normal. Nobody feels like they got it 100% of the time. Not Beyonce, not anybody. We all have self-doubt and fear. So feel that feeling and go anyway. Go anyway. Thanks for the question. Who else has a question? Go this side. Can you stand up and give your name and ask a question? Yes, your name. Is that your name? Is his name Mufasa? Yeah. Mustafa. Mustafa, go ahead and ask your question.
I want to be active, and my mama, she's bringing me down.
What? She's saying what?
I'm not gonna make money, and like she wants to help her with her bills in the future.
But you want to be an actor? You guys have theater here? Is there theater here at Southwest? Are you a part of it? You don't want to be an actor? Write that vision down. It's an agreement between you and you. It's got nothing to do with your mom. Your mom will jump on board once you succeed. But you got to join the theater here. Time to go.
We're trying to be respectful of your time.
Feels good.
Yeah.
So sad.
Okay.
You won.
Stand up and say your name. He's popular. She said her parents want to go to college with her. but she doesn't want to. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. It's the same situation that Mustafa had, Haley has, is when you write your dream down and you say, I am an actor. You say, I am a college student. Where you know where you want to go? What state you want to live in? You do? Where? She wants to go to a college in Georgia. So when you write that dream down, you write down, I am a student at a university in Georgia. Let's just say Georgia Tech University. I'm a full scholarship student at Wake Forest. That's my school. At Georgia Tech University. This is what you write down. Pay attention. Because words matter. Words matter. I'm a full scholarship student at Georgia Tech University. I am living in Georgia happy alone. Put that on there. And you don't have to argue with your parents about their thoughts and ideas. You just do the work. You just do the work, and you keep reading your thoughts to yourself. Don't get distracted by other stuff. Look at you next. You got a question right here?
My name is Nick.
Nick's got a question. We got to respect someone that has a question.
So I'm short. People bully me.
So Nick said he's getting bullied. Point out the bully. Here's the thing. Same thing I told Tariq. You have to know in your heart who you are. And what other people are saying, you have to be very clear that it does not matter. You have to be very clear. You have to trust your dreams and be on assignment. And people who don't believe in your dream don't matter. They will not be there in the end. These are all, look around, these are our short-term relationships. Do you know the difference between short-term and long-term? Okay, these are short-term relationships. And so you don't want short-term relationships to have a long-term effect. Right? Do you have something that's your height's a problem? Do you have goals that's all my height a problem? Like, why should people bully you? Wait till you hit your growth spurt, Nick. You're gonna be like 6'2". Yourself here. And you gotta love yourself first. What's your name in the question? Tatiana. What's your question?
My question is, how do you spread positivity in life? How do you spread positivity?
I like your vibe, Tatiana. She wants to be the person that sprinkles happiness on everybody. First thing you can do, Tatiana. First thing you can do, listen up here. First thing you should do is lead by example. You be positive. You smile more. You have a great attitude in class. You start getting involved with more initiatives, student government. You start becoming a part of the bigger picture. Lead by example first. In every little group you're part of, you're on a sports team, you're on the student government, yearbook, whatever you do, I don't know what it is, you represent in that space. So everybody identifies you as the positive person. And at some point, you will only attract positive people back to you. Now, in every environment, there's going to be negativity. That's just called contrast. High, low, in, out, up, down, happy, sad. We wouldn't really even know positive if there was no negative. So sometimes we need it to balance each other out and actually be more grateful for things that are positive. But I would start with myself. I would be an example of myself. But I do several things to spread positivity. I tell people how great they are. I remind them all the time. You can do anything you want to do. You are the power, you are the magic, Tatiana. You can't be stopped. You are a winner. I also send positive messages. So Tatiana, maybe you can be the one that on social media, you always leave a comment that's positive. You're always posting something that's positive. You're always double tapping and saying, I see you, you look cute today. Congratulations, that's you. So I don't do it on social media, I send handwritten notes, spreading positivity. One more question. University, but it's one of the toughest academic schools in the country. I didn't know that. And the other thing that really challenged me, Jeremiah, was that almost everybody there looked different than me. I was one of the few black people I saw for like 4 years. So not only was insecure about how smart I was and if I belonged there academically, but I was also challenged because there weren't a lot of people who looked like me, so I didn't even relate. I knew they couldn't relate to me. And so I struggled a lot. But the best thing you can do to be a college graduate is ask for help when you need it. First of all, be determined that you will graduate. That's the goal. I'm going to graduate. Have a destination. And then ask for help when you need it. And never, ever, ever get off assignment. Last question, Caroline. Caroline said, what advice do you have for someone who's afraid to try out? This is really key. This is why you are important. This is why this is the most important group. Because if a senior's asking me that, it's too late. You've already been scared for 3.5 years. It's too late. You guys have time. The one thing I'll say about fear is, one, it's an invisible thing. It's not actually a thing. You created the story in your mind. Whatever the story is, I'm not good enough, I'm scared they're going to pick on me, I don't want to even work, I don't want to feel like what that rejection is going to be like if people know I tried out and then I don't make the team. So you're so embarrassed and you're so afraid to fail in front of people. And being in sport all my life, it's a common thing even when you get on the team. Don't worry about like not making the team. What if you try out, you get on the team, and then everybody's there watching you play your games, and you're not good, and you fail? What about that? It never stops. So my point about fear is that once you create a destination, you get on a mission and assignment, you write it down, write the vision down and make it plain, you log it every day. This is the assignment I'm on. This is the assignment I'm on. This is what I want to do. Then you gain more confidence in your ability to achieve it. You gain more confidence in your ability to achieve it. I would say if it's a sports team, you need to be working on that sport. Don't try to make the team on one day out of the year when you had 364 other days to be preparing to make the team. I'd say that. Don't wait till the day of to decide, you know what? I'm going to try out for the basketball team tomorrow. That's not a good strategy. Decide now, I'm on the team, and this is what it's going to take for me to actually manifest that, make that happen. So work at it. What sport is it?
Soccer.
Soccer. Work at it. Travel.
What?
You're afraid to travel?
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.